Hey, what's going on, people? This was a really painful trip to the pump today. Take a look at what I paid. There's the lowest one. $4.90 basically. Stay tuned for some news. Hey, Bulls and Bears, it is Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Back with another dose of economic reality. As usual, I scoured the internet and social media looking for the most important financial and economic news stories for you. Let's start off right here. Most Americans think that we are in a recession or a depression. And this one comes out of NY Mag. The economy is booming. Why do many Americans think we're in a recession? Well, first of all, who says the economy is booming? Maybe that's the opinion of the individual that wrote this article, but why is it not the opinion of most Americans? Why do most Americans think we're in a recession or a depression? Now, this article goes on to talk about how many jobs have been added, how low the unemployment rate is. Now, anyone here on this channel knows that those numbers are very insignificant and not just that, but fake for the most part, and at least misleading. For example, how many people are making enough at these jobs to keep up with these rising costs, the cost of living, inflation everywhere you look? Well, not many. And that's why we see debt continue to pile on the average U.S. individual. Now, as I think most of you know, one of the big things they need to do to keep the illusion of a good economy alive is they need to keep the stock market propped up. So when people aren't making enough money, that's one thing. When prices are rising beyond most people's budgets, that's another thing. But if people still have, they can look at their screen and see a nice retirement account because it's based on the stock market for the most part. Not everyone has their retirement account in the stock market, but a lot of 401ks, the majority actually are tied in some way to the stock market. So when people can look at their retirement accounts, they can see on their screen that they have some money in there. It gives them a little bit of a boost of confidence. But imagine if markets declined, people lost, a lot of people would lose a big part of their retirement and savings in those accounts, and that could cause it even to be worse. But even as it is now, with the booming stock market, most people still think we're in a recession or a depression. And we're just getting started, folks. These oil prices are likely going to go higher. The cost of oil, heating oil included, many households being squeezed, the cost of energy, electricity, utilities, and I showed you just earlier the cost of gas out here where I'm at. People with long commutes are really going to get hurt with these rising energy costs. And it's not just that. We talked about heating oil. Take a look at this article. I feel sorry for anyone that needs to buy a new furnace. A furnace repair business endures long winter of part shortages. So imagine your furnace breaks down and you can't get the part, or the company that's helping you cannot get the part. So what are you going to do? Well, the alternative is to freeze if you're in certain areas where it's very cold, or just go out and buy a whole new furnace. And even then, you're going to pay a lot more than you would have just a year or two ago. So many people are opting, instead of trying to repair their current furnace because of the part shortage, they're opting to buy a whole new heating system. Now, with prices exploding across the globe for the most part, there are some banks that are choosing to raise interest rates. We see Canada recently raised rates, but look how tiny this is. So Bank of Canada raised key interest rates, but it was only a half of 1% rate increase, which is very minor. But take a look at the home prices in Canada. The average sale price of a home in Canada in January was $748,000. So the housing market in Canada is even more insane than it is here in the United States. That's up 20% year over year for homes, yet they can only raise the funds rate by 0.5%. Now over in Russia, they're taking it even more seriously, but not just because of rising prices, because so many people are taking their money out of the bank. Over in Russia, a 20% interest rate because their dollar, their currency is collapsing, the ruble. People are waiting in line to get their money out of the bank. People are panicking. And we know that banks really don't keep enough money in deposit, enough physical money. We're talking about coins and paper. They don't keep enough in deposits to actually pay out when people go to try to pull their money out of the bank. So if everyone went at the same time, they simply would not have the money. And in fact, even here in the United States, if you go out to try to take a large sum out of the bank, you might be told that you're going to have to wait several days if you try to go get 10,000, 20,000 or large sums. It's very common. I've read a lot of stories where people said they just could not get the money. They had to wait several days in some cases. And then the bank would ask them questions. Why are you taking out the money? They're starting to get more restrictive and trying to give people more of a hassle when they go to try to take large sums of money out of the bank. So in Russia, it's not just about inflation. It was about fighting back against all these people trying to take their money out, hoping that the 20% rate would incentivize people to keep their money in the bank, and maybe they'll get some sort of return now on their money instead of basically getting nothing when you look at how much you'll make on your deposits versus inflation right now. So people, please let me know what you think. How long until even more people realize that this economy is not what we're being told? People are starting to feel it now in their wallets. And now most people, according to this article, according to this survey, most people think things are not headed in the right direction, that something is very wrong with our economy right now. Where does this go? I think a lot more people are going to need to brace for what's coming, because really nothing's being done to reverse the situation. And we're not seeing very good jobs coming back to the United States, not very many jobs at all, but especially not very well-paying jobs where they're needed the most, which is manufacturing. And it's going to get even uglier than this, folks. Fasten your seatbelts. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Please let me know what you think about what most people are saying now that we are in a recession or depression. Do you agree with them? Or is the economy booming? And if the economy is booming, ask yourself, is it booming because of people being really wealthy and just spending a lot of money? Or is it because people are borrowing a lot of money and spending a lot of money, so it makes it look like the economy is booming? But why are people spending so much money? It's because the cost of everything is so high. That's what I think. Please let me know down in the comments what you think. Thanks for being here, people. Thanks for supporting this channel. Bye for now. Peace.